Texas hurricane here, and we are currently headed over to the property. And it is Ruby's first time being able to go to the property. So she is super excited to finally get to come with us, and I'm going to be filming her reaction to exploring the property and figuring everything out. And she is so excited to be able to come with us, and she's just a happy girl. Who all she wants is attention, but she is a guard dog, so that attention is only from us. The anticipation of getting out and seeing the property for the first time is really killing her right now. She really just wants to run out there in the woods. All right.
Are you ready?
I think Ruby's ready.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. No, come on. Your door just reopened. She is so excited to finally be here. Are you a happy doggo? Yeah? Yeah?
Stay over here.
All right, so we have our burn pile. We have our wall logs. We have the one I was working on.
Yeah.
And we have a cabin to build. All right, so it's around 3 degrees, so we have another one of our bonfires going in order to stay warm while we are getting to work building another wall. Well, not another wall, but a wall of our cabin. And there's Ruby in the background.
Yes.
The flames are so pretty though. The brush has been wet lately, so I didn't really realize the fire would kick off the way that it did. So I guess now we're actively watching our bonfire.
Yeah, we're on fire.
To make sure it stays good.
Watch.
I think she's going for a stick a little too big for her size.
Yeah, Ruby, get a stick.
Get it! Get the stick! After letting Ruby explore, the next thing to do is log peel some more logs for the walls of the cabin. And have some squirrel moments watching Ruby dig a hole in search of a mouse or a little critter. This was the first time I have seen her do this, so I found it interesting and entertaining, and I hope you guys do too. This is for all the dog lovers out there. Ruby is a mix of a Border Collie and Belgian Malinois, which are two of the smartest dog breeds out there. Taylor got her at roughly a year old and has trained her with obedience, tracking, and canine police bite training. Let us know if you want to see more of her and what she can do. I know I enjoy having her all around for all the laughs and added layer of security. She can alert us of moose and bears when they come out of hibernation before we even know they are there.
We do love our Ruby dog, but sometimes it is hard to bring her when we're trying to get a lot of work done. She does like to bark and go after animals and or people, so...
There is that. Back to progress on the cabin. Taylor peeled this log and is cutting it down to size, getting rid of the warped part of the log and making sure that the cuts are flat and not angled. Even doing a little bit of a touch-up for a very nice finish of the log. He then measures out the length needed for that section of the wall, and he marks the cut needed with his hatchet. This end of the log had some punk or rotting wood, so we cut that too, taking the very nice middle part. And that ensures that both sides are flat and will rest nice and snug with the pillars on the corners of the house.
Kind of saw that coming. This next step is very important, to pick up the log like it's a baby.
And be sure not to drop it on its head. Seeing the progress for the walls of the cabin is really fulfilling and encouraging, and it just creates a lot more motivation and drive to just do more on the cabin.
Let's just attack them in for right now. They'll get more support later. There's always time for more everything. So you don't want to cut these logs too short. I want them as tight as possible, almost to where they're wedged in, and the pressure of all the logs holds the cabin in place. Forget a pencil. I'm also trying to keep in mind that I don't want it to be cut too short, because that's going to be a gap. It won't be good for the structural integrity, and it'll also let air come in, and when it's -30, you don't want air coming in.
It can also be a little challenging to be able to cut both ends flat since we are freestyling with the saw, and it's not the typical just kind of take the tree down type cut.
These posts do have a couple knots on them, so I'm going ahead and clean those up and get them flat so my log can fit nice and snug.
One thing we did think of after we put the posts up is we could have milled one side of the logs to make them flat, so that way they can rest nicer, as well as we could have done that with the wall logs, but we decided not to.
After banging this wall with a hammer and a hatchet, I realize I will be using a mallet or a piece of wood so I'm not damaging the logs and beating them up. I like a wedge better than a loose fit, so.
Yeah. There are so many different ways to build cabins that it is almost overwhelming to try to choose what building method we use.
Good that one came loose because it needed to make an adjustment.
It is super exciting for my first time building a cabin, especially to have someone who has built cabins before and has at the very least that general knowledge of what needs to get done and some inputs on how it can get done, as well as knowing a little bit of the trial and error process. And then I'm able to come in from a different, new, and outside perspective and kind of tweak things up and streamline the process.
Well, looks like a tight fit.
Yeah. Granted, in this line of business and work, there's always going to be something that goes wrong, some sort of mismeasurement, or something that you forgot. So that winds up coming with the trade. But all you need to do is adapt and fix whatever happened and move forward.
Nice. Once we get all this going, everything comes more rigid. That's what we're looking for. Cool. Okay. Got that long one right there. We can get it up here, or we could do the other side too. How you feeling?
I feel like if we kind of build up one wall, it'll help us kind of see where we're at and how many more logs we need for each of the walls. And now that we have put up all the logs that we had log peeled for the walls, It is now time for more log peeling, which is a pretty important part of the job despite being mundane in nature. It can give a lot of time to just kind of sit there and think and appreciate the work and effort you're putting into the cabin.
Did something come loose on this?
No, probably just got a little out of the frozen snow.
And log peeling is only as boring and mundane as you make it.
Oh yeah, that's a real good angle for the camera.
Oh yeah, hey guys. Better you do that.
And having 2 people to divide the workload helps out a lot.
Oh my god, it looks so nice.
Right? Just freaking logged up and boom.
You can see the
Hey,
little...
there's a cabin.
Yeah, cabin's almost done. We're not trying to get the logs perfect. We are just trying to get them pretty good. We can go back once the logs are on the wall and use a sander and clean them up on the inside and outside. Right now, we're just trying to get this cabin built.
There are going to be a lot of finishing touches to make it look all nice and pretty at the very end. So for right now, we're just getting something up to where it is functional.
You finished it too fast. Okay.
I'm in a mood.
No.
Time passing by is a factor on our minds a lot lately.
How we stay motivated. Psychological work. How to get the most out of your part.
Huh?
How to get the most out of your part. No. So we piss each other off, light a fire up their ass in the morning, and
Yeah, it's totally
yeah,
healthy.
yeah, totally fine.
Totally normal.
As long as progress is getting done.
Nope, that's not.
So yeah, fat side's gonna be right where you're at on your side this time. So you're good, just go, yep, however you want to do it. You gotta get the shots of me lifting the logs. Oh, hey. I mean, yep, just, you know.
And right into it.
Some of the trees that we cut to log peel are black spruce, which the bark loves to stick on those a lot more than the white spruce, where the bark loves to come right off. There are also a whole bunch of knots on the black spruce that make it pretty hard to get through some of them. That does also mean that a lot of time, effort, and energy is going into log peeling, which can be intimidating at times because we still need around 44 logs to finish the cabin.
There's a lot of knots on this one.
Yeah. I can grab the saw or the hatchet and clean them up.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Ruby absolutely loves the outdoors. She has been inside a little too much lately this winter, and she is ready to get back out there. And here she is just digging a tunnel, looking for critters, and really just being a dog.
Ruby will do this for hours on end, digging tunnel after tunnel, entertaining herself and fine-tuning her natural instinct, making her a lot sharper of a guard dog for us to be able to alert us about anyone in the area before we even know that they're there.
Well, phone just went down in the snow. Hi!
Yeah, you happy girl? I know you are. Yeah, oh yeah. Go find your mouse. Go get it. Find it. Good mouse. She's on the hunt now.
Are you getting the stick? You got the stick! Well, I guess Ruby's happy with the property.
I'm really motivated for us to get this cabin built. It feels so good putting your energy into something that you can live in versus renting or buying a place that's already built. It's just something else to be building something you're actually going to live in.
One thing I did realize a while ago is in today's society, with how hard it is to pay rent each month and just bills in general, it is so much cheaper to just buy your own land and build everything yourself. A lot of people don't do that because it is very intimidating to just do all this yourself, and you are not taught how to build your own home, so you need to actively go out and seek that knowledge instead of simply having it readily available for you and more so taught to you. Because, I mean, there is Google, there's YouTube, how-to videos, there's all sorts of different books. The thing is, you have to go out and search for it, and it's not something that is general knowledge, albeit it is a little bit of common sense, but not for a lot of people.
One thing I'll say is it feels natural to be building our own home. I feel like it's lost in today's society, but this is what everybody used to have to do. Everybody used to build their own home. And building with logs and living in a log cabin in Alaska has been a dream of mine since I could remember. So this is a really fun experience, and I hope you guys are enjoying it.
It does help get back in touch with roots and feels very natural and right to be doing this.
What are you up to here, Hurricane Katrina?
Well, pretty much what we are doing right now is we are log peeling more logs and prepping them so that way we can just cut them down, put it up, cut it down to size, put it up, and have hopefully most of at least one of the walls completed today. When we don't have enough logs to finish the wall, we're gonna go back out that way, find more trees, and cut them down. Probably get them over here and prepared for the next time we come to the property. But yeah, it's gonna be a really productive day today. Day 10 on the property.
Shout out to Katrina. She makes this log peeling look really easy. This is her first time building a log cabin and a home to live in, and she looks like she's been doing this her whole life. She just started doing this a few weeks ago, and she's the best partner you could ask for, and we have great teamwork. Just so you guys know, me and Katrina have been working every day, 7 days a week, nonstop. When we're not working on this cabin, we are out logging firewood, and it's a lot of work. So we are tired. We show up tired, but...
So this means we are working 2 full-time jobs, and the other job isn't a typical society job. It's us running the business ourselves. We are the only 2 people in the business, so it can be a little difficult at times, but that being said, we enjoy this work and we make it pretty fun. Well, where we can. There are still those days where it's like, oh my god, why am I doing this?
Get it. Get it.
Little break time. The Ruby girl, get it!
Get it. Get it. That's really close to my...
Well, we have a little snow coming down. We just had a lunch break. We got our logs peeled, and Katrina's taking a measurement so we can see how long we need to cut our next one. And it's not coming down too hard, but it's consistent and it does add up. You can see how deep the snow is underneath.
One lesson we did learn here is instead of measuring the length of the previous log, measure the distance from one pillar to the next, because there could be a knot or a slight curve or bend in the pillars that cause you to have a different measurement than the previous log. When it comes to working in the wintertime, you need to be very aware of where you are walking. With the snow causes uneven terrain, and sometimes it's like walking on a flight of stairs and all of a sudden, oh, you missed a step.
Let's save time, measure it, and just cut the skinny end off.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, just over 128? Double check. Yeah.
That right there is a prime example of how sometimes you need to go back and redo something to make sure it is done right the first time.
Okay, make a quick cut.
It is always better to need to go back and measure twice instead of messing up a cut, getting the wrong length, and then you need to go and cut down another tree.
Okay, so that side over here. Skinny side down here. For the viewers at home, when you're placing logs, you want to make sure they line up to where if water drips, it'll hit the next log and drip down, not drip and go in. Putting up these logs is a little technical. You're putting a round log on top of another round log, and then you need to cut the ends flat to go up against round post. On top of all that, it's snowing and the logs have ice and snow on them. So it really is a big help to have someone there to help you.
There is also the added layer of trying to film all of this, going back and forth between having the camera on the tripod or having one person hold the camera while the other is working, which almost negates the fact of there's two people to be able to make the jobs easier, because one person then pretty much isn't working and is focusing on filming. After doing a sturdy test and now knowing that the wall can hold a lot more weight, we have a lot more logs that we need to measure and put up. By the end of the day, we wind up getting a total of half of this wall up, which we have cut down, delimbed, carried over, log peeled.
What?
The Bart Sheriff was out today.
Measured, cut both ends flat, and now we have half of one wall up, which I wound up doing the math, and we have 6 logs on that wall. It's going to be a total of 12 logs per wall. And so in order to finish the cabin, we are needing 44 more logs, roughly, in order to completely get all of our walls up. Now, that does not count the roof or the loft that we are building, as well as underneath it is going to be a storage area, probably a cellar to store different food items down there, but it could also hold different equipment and act kind of like a shed. So we have stuff to do down below and up above. That being said, once everything is out on the table, it sounds like a lot of work, but if you divide it into steps, it becomes a very easy day-by-day challenge to do. One thing to know about this cabin is we are trying to get this finished by the time snow melts, so that way we can fully move out here and focus on getting the other cabins up and running as fast as possible. As soon as the snow melts, we want to be able to, boom, there's another cabin. The more cabins we have up and running as Airbnbs means we are going to need to spend less time doing firewood and putting our energy into that, and we can focus and concentrate on building more cabins and doing our passions. And the more that you cut your living costs down, the less you have to work and the more free time you have, and you can put elsewhere into your passions and things that you find productive. Building cabins, being out in the woods and nature, and being able to do what I enjoy is the thing that I enjoy.
Hey guys, look at that wall. We just put it up in no time.
I mean, you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. Although we do need to make sure that time doesn't fly by too fast. Not only are we trying to get the cabin built by the time the snow melts, so that way we can very easily and quickly put up the new cabins and more, we are also trying our best to do this before our lease is up in a couple of months, so that way we don't have to renew that and pay another $1,200 in a month, and we can lower our living costs down and fully free up that time that would be spent going and logging and selling firewood. That time will be better spent into getting more cabins up and also maybe taking the occasional day off, hopefully here soon. That is the goal, the mission, the passion, and the desire.
9-0. Okay.
And I hope you guys enjoy watching as much as we enjoy doing. Thank you so much for your guys' support.
I have also noticed that I've been getting some feedback from some people. Some of it has been negative, but there has also been an overwhelmingly positive. I am still trying to figure this out, as well as make sure I try to get good audio. Sometimes we're a little further away from the camera, so I'm going to start trying to do voiceovers, as well as switch up what music I am putting to, because a couple of people have said that it is a little annoying. And yeah, if you guys want, feel free to let me know what you would like to see more on the channel, and what parts you're kind of like, that's a little repetitive, I would rather probably see this. Maybe if I add timestamps of when we do stuff in the intro to help you guys find the part of the video that you want to watch, so that way you're not aimlessly scrolling through. Feel free to let me know and give some constructive criticism, but please keep the actual negativity to a minimum, because those comments will be removed. Thank you.